Hi, it's Megan. It's one of those horrific bare-faced videos where I start out with absolutely no makeup on my face whatsoever, but I have been wanting to do a video with beach makeup, summertime beach makeup or pool makeup or whatever, when you're going to be dealing with the water and the sun and the whole thing. And it's just a fun concept. I live in Southern California, spend a lot of time outside. Obviously use a lot of, well, haven't used enough sunscreen in my past, but should have, but I do mostly now. So I just thought it'd be fun to put together. I have been having some problems with my microphone, so I don't know. I've been a little hesitant to put a lot of videos up until I figure out what the exact problem is. So this is how we're gonna start. Bare-faced, and then I'm gonna explain kind of some concepts. You can use waterproof makeup. You can use water-resistant makeup, you can use makeup completely irrespective of that and just expect that during the day you might need to reapply little bits and pieces. And my kind of thought behind all of it is that you're there to have a good time, you're there to relax, you don't want to deal with makeup. So I'm going to tell you what I do and then some other options for what you can do if you want kind of a little bit more of a polished, slick, makeup-y look. So first of all, sunscreen, right? That's the most important thing. So you do your normal skincare routine and you do, I like the Neutrogena, the Sports Face Oil-Free Lotion Sunscreen, Broad Spectrum, SPF 50, and this also is water resistant for 80 minutes. So I actually will apply sunscreen at some point during the day if I'm out all day, again, depending, and I have dry skin that doesn't get pimples or breakouts, whatever, very often. If I'm spending a lot of time outside in the sun and using a lot of face sunscreen, I exfoliate a little bit more often. I like black sugar scrubs or kind of papaya or apple-based peels because they're less harsh, but I still will exfoliate probably every day. The next thing I have, this is a Revlon Photo Ready, but this is not going to come out because it's basically done. I need to open a new one, but I will also use, because I'm not going to use any kind of foundation, but okay, we got some out. I will use an illuminating primer because what I don't like about things like foundations, BB creams, and the whole bit is that they come off and they're gross. And not only do they come off like in the pool and have this like oily floaty thing on your face and all around, but they will actually kind of, if you sweat, they will start to come off on your face. I find it gross, so I don't do it. So I will use an illuminating primer like this, because this is sheer, and it gives you a little glow. It's going to cover up a little bit of your imperfections, but it's not going to be so gross. The next thing is I have a concealer, and this is a Josie Marin. I like this little stick. Twists up, and I will put that in the corner of my eyes, a little bit under my eyes. And then someone was asking me recently about foundation here, why it wasn't covering up all the redness. You know, sometimes there's a little redness right in here. Depending on weather particularly, I will also do that just to cover up a little bit of the redness. I hate, for the most part, anything powder-based, and I hate anything that's kind of cream-based skin color too much. The reason I don't like powder is, even with my dry skin, if I'm out in the sun and I start to sweat a little bit, it just starts to cake up and get really gross. So I just avoid basically almost all powders in general and go with cream formulas. I do have one powder here, but there's an exception to every rule. Next of all, I will go with a cream blush. And I usually go with a color scheme, whether it's pink or it is kind of orange coral. And I'm going to show you a couple options here. But some of the best brands for waterproof makeup are Stila, Makeup Forever, really great. CoverGirl has some. But then there are individual products. MAC has some. Well, there's a whole bunch. Maybelline has a few. I like these Becca Chic products. These little blushes that are a mix of blush and highlighter. And so I'm going to use the Opal Fig, because this is a real neutral. And so this is going to give me a little bit of a cream-based blush, but also a little highlight. And so I do like highlighters. I skip bronzers when I'm going out in the sun. I find cream bronzers a little too wilty, if that makes sense, because I do have lighter skin on my neck, so I very often use a bronzer just to kind of even out the skin between my face and my neck. But I don't like the way the cream ones kind of melt off when I'm out in the sun, and so I pretty much will skip the bronzers altogether, but I will put a little bit of a cheek color or a highlight. And so I like these Beccas. I also like basically any cream blush. So MAC's got some great ones, Makeup Forever has some great ones, Charlotte Tilbury just came out with this really pretty limited edition one. Here, this pink, but I'm going for a more neutral right now. We can take a little pink and then just dot that right in here in the very apple, just to add a little bit more like brightening. Make it look a little, I don't know, more alive. And then, so I'll do a cream blush, and I can either do a matte or I can do a little bit of shimmer. We just added one with a little bit of a shimmer. Normally, if I do some sort of a shimmer on the cheeks, I won't do some on the eyes, but I will do one when I go outside into the sun. And so what I took here is I just took a glittering blusher. This one's by Privia. And another really great product is the MAC Moondust eyeshadow, and I'm a particular fan of the Space Cowboy. This is the one exception I have to the no powder rule. I find that if I put a cream eyeshadow on, that also tends to melt. I think it may be just a little bit of a thicker texture. It doesn't absorb quite as much as the blush does on the cheeks. So what I will do is I will just take a little bit of some kind of a highlight shade and use it on my eyes. So this right here is like a goldy peach. And I'm just gonna dot it on like this. And then put it right in the outer corner with my finger. You can obviously use a brush for that. But that's just going to give me a little bit of a glow. And then I'm just going to put a little dot right here. And here I would also consider using just a more neutral. You don't have to use one with peach. This is just going to give my eyes a little bit more color. You can also use a really neutral, like a Becca Moonstone, or there's also just a couple Lightscapade by MAC, just a little bit more of a neutral shade. The new peachy Charlotte Tilbury limited edition Norman what's his name, Parkinson's, whatever, his collection, that collection, and I guess that kind of mirrors some of her other highlighters, but just one of these lighter, you know, not going to add too much color. Then, okay, we're gonna stop the eyes for a minute. We're gonna go to lips, just because the eyes, there's so many cheats. So for the eyes, you can do a couple things. I mean, for the lips, you can do a couple things. One, you can do a liquid lip color. A lot of these, especially the Makeup Forever. Makeup Forever has a whole bunch of products that were designed specifically for like the underwater ballet, and their eyeliners and their liquid lip colors. Those are designed to last like 8+ hours in the water, so they're gonna last a lot longer. I find that look a little bit more, I don't know, town than beach. It's a little bit more makeup-y than I like. So I tend to do one of two things. I will do either kind of like a sheer lipstick or a shimmery sheer lipstick. Great ones from IT Cosmetics, Lipstick Queen. I have this old MAC one from last year's collection, which is just like this shimmery sheer peach. And I like that. And one of the things I like about those is I can reapply them without a mirror, because I find that when I'm outside, I'm drinking a lot of water, whatever I have on my lips is going to wear off. The liquid lipsticks are designed to withstand water, not oil, but water. So they tend not to wear off, but like I said, I'm not wearing those so much. The Shuamora is a really pretty, this was a limited edition again, just a really pretty sheer. You can barely see it because it's got a sheer shimmer. Sometimes I will do that. What I will do more often is a lip gloss. And you can go two ways. You can go with a really bright. Urban Decay and Lorac both had great summer 2015 collections of these really bright, beautiful, vivid lip glosses. Or you can go with a more shimmery one. And I had an Illamasqua one, which I seem to have lost. But I also have a really pretty one from Elizabeth Arden, believe it or not. And that's going to give you just a really pretty sheer shimmer on your lips. But for this video, we're gonna actually put, and I like that if I put anything at all on my eyes because it's just really giving me a very natural shimmer, sheer, that kind of sparkles as the light hits it. This one has lots of little bits of shimmer, and like I said, Illamasqua's got an even more beautiful one. And I'm gonna put the name of that Illamasqua, because that's my favorite, in the description of this video. Here I've got a Chanel with a little bit more color, and this is a sheer pink. It's super vivid, but it doesn't have a really heavy look to it. But this is something I can apply lip gloss without a mirror. So every hour or so, I'll just dot it in the middle of my lips, do that, and then all of a sudden, wow, I've got color on my lips. And that's actually what I personally do. I just do the lip gloss every hour. I like my little MAC sheer brow gel. I've been kind of underplaying my brows lately, not doing a lot of plucking, keeping them very subtle, not adding a lot of color. So this will actually set them just so that, I don't know, my brows tend to look crazy most of the time. I don't look quite as crazy. So this is where it gets complicated. What else to do to the eyes? So I've added a little bit of highlight just to brighten up and open up my eyes, and then in the outer corner, you can also line your whole eye. That's also really pretty, but I just did the outer corner. If you want to do an eyeliner, I don't, but you can. The Stila, what do they call it? The Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner is one of the best I have found. I have a love-hate with Stila. This one right here is one I got in a gift set like 4 years ago. And look at that, it just applies still perfectly. I mean, I don't use it very often, but I can't believe that 4 years later it still applies perfectly if I want to. So you can use an eyeliner like that just to really kind of define your eyes, and at that point I would just use one of those really sheer shimmery lip glosses. Also the Shuamura, they had this collection of these bright, and also they had some black and gray, but they had these really beautiful metallic eyeliners for summer, and they're waterproof. I wore that on my wrist, taking a shower, mind you, and doing all my dishes and everything. I wore that thing for 2 days on my wrist. It didn't come off. It was amazing. So those look really pretty, and they actually will last. If I'm ever going to do any kind of color, personally, I'm not going to do an eyeliner because I think it's a little bit more than I like. So I'm going to use just a black pencil to line my upper waterline. And this actually survives my yoga classes. I have sadly, yes, I will admit to this, when I've swum laps, I've sadly done this sometimes before I've gone in, just because I didn't want to have no makeup on whatsoever, and it survived. And here it's really a judgment call whether you want a softer eyeliner or not. If you've got contact lenses, don't use a softer eyeliner. It's going to really bleed into your eyes and mess up your contact lenses. But this is one way that you can add a little bit more definition to your eyes that isn't going to melt off or cause problems in the water for me. And then I do my mascara, and I am a huge fan of the Great Lash Maybelline. I don't know, I've been wearing this since I was in high school, waterproof, and I used to swim every day when I was in high school and college, and I've always used this mascara. So there's probably better ones. I know Lancome has a really beautiful one. I'm sure there's better ones. In fact, if someone knows a better one, I would love to hear. I've just been using this one for so long, I just can't imagine not using it anymore. And so just put a little bit of mascara on. And then, last but not least, that was a really great job with my mascara. Ooh, and then, you know, just smudge black all over your face. People love that at the pool. So there we have just a really natural kind of pool look. I'm gonna still keep my hair back. The last step. I actually am a scent junkie, which is why I've started doing video reviews of scents. I like Bobbi Brown Beach just because it smells like copper tone, which was what a lot of kids my age wore growing up. And it's not so heavy or overpowering or sweet or cloying. So that's a big one for the beach for me. I got into the Guerlain Terracotta, which smells to me like Bain de Soleil, another big brand of, you know, suntan lotion. And then the other thing I actually like the Contour Sud Pacific. I just couldn't find mine for some reason, and I just got frustrated looking for it because they have kind of that coconutty tropical feel to them that just aren't a little bit too much. But I just like to spray a little bit of scent on when I go to the pool, not a lot because you don't want to like kill everyone around you, but just enough so that you get kind of that vacation feel or that warm weather feel, and create more of a mood. So anyway, that's kind of my quick thoughts on beach makeup. And if you have other thoughts, suggestions, comments, I think everyone would probably love to hear it because people are going on vacation, and any tips are very welcome. To apply sunscreen later on, I will just pat it on so that it doesn't wreck whatever makeup is left, or I get one of those little spray things. But then I do have to exfoliate in the evening if I just do one of those spray things, because they tend to be a little bit of a heavier feel into my skin. And please subscribe on YouTube. Thanks very much.